Ibalikan ko lang yung kanina. Ulit-ulit. For the solution of nonlinear equation, especially on finding roots. And there are two methods. We have your bracketing method and your open method. Now, dun sa may bracketing, ulitin ko lang, meron tayong bisection method and the regular fancy. Now, for the open method, ito yung na-discuss na Newton-Raphson method. And we have the secant method. Paano ba itong secant method na to? This is a method, this is a root finding method which utilizes the open method of delivering roots of a function using the secant line. It's basically Newton's method without identifying the derivatives at every iteration. So, ano itong secant method na to? Diba doon sa may Newton-Raphson, let's say, if this is the plane, ito yung ating curve. Then, if this is the point, diba, we drew a tangent line, then we determined the slope, and tapos doon nakuha yung equation na ginamit natin na x sub 1 is equal to x sub o minus the function over the derivative of your x sub o. Galing yan doon sa may tangent line. This is the tangent line. But what if itong tangent line na to, hindi mo kayang kunin yung derivative. Or if that tangent line, wala siyang derivative, or hindi mo siya kayang kunin yung derivative. What would be a method na kaya mong gawin para makuha yung root ng isang function? So, we can apply here the secant method. Paano yung secant method? So, again, if we're going to draw the plane, so, pag ito-drawing ko yung aking axis, let's say, this is again the line. Let's say this is this is XA, this is XB. We're going to connect these 2 points with a straight line. Straight line. Yung straight line na yan, we call that your secant line. Same, itong division na to, this is the function of XA. Sorry. This is the function of your XA. And here, this is the function of your XB. Now, you have to take note, ito ay si XA. Itong point na to is XB. Now, we know that slope is equal to rise over run. And basing from this illustration, your rise is equal to fxa minus fxb over xa minus xb. Now, itong slope ay itong rise over run na to. Ito ngayon yung isa-substitute natin dun sa may equation kanina. X minus 1 xo minus fxo over f prime xo. Ito ngayon yung gagamitin natin dito para makuha natin galing po yung equation na to, galing po siya dito. Okay? So, ito yung gagamitin natin na equation to solve for our new value for x. So, for the steps in secant method, first we have to identify an initial interval such that the product of the functions would be equal to 0. The approximate value is computed as this equation. Then we have to determine the next subinterval. Repeat the procedure until the desired accuracy is achieved. Mas ma-appreciate natin ang paggamit ng secant method try to solve this problem. So we have to solve for the root of the function cosine of x plus 2 sine x plus x squared using the initial value 0 and negative 0.1. Now, pansinin ninyo dun sa may graph, yung xa ko is the upper limit and xb is the lower limit. Okay, pansinin ninyo yan. Now, dito ngayon, sa may table na to, let this be my iteration. This is my x sub a. This is my x sub b. This is the function of xa. And this is the function of x. So, let's start my iteration at 0. Ang xa ko, given naman na, para hindi na ako matagalan, given na, my xa is 0. My xb is negative 0.1. Now, what is fxa? Now, if I'm going to substitute 0 doon sa may equation ko na cosine x is 0 plus 2 sine 0 plus 0 squared. Ma'am, ang sagot dyan is 0. No. The sine of 0 is 0. This is 0. But the cosine of 0 is not equal to 0, but rather this is equal to 1. Therefore, the function of xa is 1. For xb, function of negative 0.1, that is equal to cosine of negative 0.1 plus 2 sine of negative 0.1 plus negative 0.1 squared. Now, ang lumalabas sa calculator, this is equal to 0.80533733. So, ang aking fxb ay 0.8053373. Next, for my iteration 1, since ang gusto kasi natin dito, pareho na yung ating function ng xa at saka xb ay mag-zero out. So, mag-i-stop lang tayo pag nag-zero out. Almost, mag-zero out itong dalawa na to. So, ililipat natin ngayon yung ating xa at saka xb. Kanina, yung ating xa ay nasa 0, yung ating xb ay nasa negative 0.1. Ngayon naman, ililipat natin. This time, yung xb dito sa may iteration 0 na negative 0.1, ililipat natin siya ngayon kay xa ng iteration 1. Gets? Kaya yung xa sa may iteration 1 ay magiging negative 0.1. Okay? Then, yung ating xb ngayon, makukuha natin siya by using the equation x1 is equal to xa minus fxa multiplied by xa minus xb over the function of xa minus the function of xb. Etong equation na to, ang gagamitin natin ngayon para makuha natin yung value dito sa may xb ng 1. Okay? So, paano natin ngayon masosolve yung xb dito sa may iteration 1? Again, we're going to use this equation. So, for the x1, that is equal to xa. Ang i-consider natin ngayon dito na xa tsaka xb ay yung dun sa may, saan ba siya galing? Dito siya galing kay may iteration 0. So, ito yung values dito ang gagamitin ko ngayon. Ang xa natin is 0 minus the function of xa, 1. Our xa is 0 minus xb is negative 0.1 divide it by the function of xa, that is 1, minus the function of xb, 0.80533732. If you input this in your calculator, the value of your x1 is equal to 0 minus negative 0.1 divided by 1 minus 0.80533732. Tama. Ang lumabas is negative 0.51371. Okay? So, yan ngayon yung value ng aking xb sa may iteration 1. Negative 0.51371. Nasundan ba? Nasundan ba natin? Okay? So, pag medyo nalito kayo, yung may go back to this video, i-lock yun na lang. Okay? So, for the function of a, paano ulit natin kukunin yung function of a? So, again, itong xb, itong bagong value natin bagong value ng ating xa, isa-substitute natin ngayon siya dito sa may fx. So, that will become now f of negative 0.1 is equal now to cosine of negative 0.1 plus 2 of sine x plus x squared. Yung x dito, palitan natin siya ng negative 0.1. Palitan ko lang. This should be sine of negative 0.1 and this is negative 0.1. Okay. So, ang lalabas sa calculator is 0.80533733. Ang napansin nyo? fx is 0.80533733. May napansin kayo? Diba itong value na to, siya rin yung value dito? So, para hindi na tayo magkahirapan, since yung negative 0.1 dito, binaba mo siya dito, ganun din yung gawin mo. Yung xb dito sa may iteration 0, ibaba mo lang siya dito sa may fxa ng iteration 1 para hindi na tayo magka-problem. So, ang problema ko na lang is yung fxb or fxb ng iteration 1. So, ang gagawin ko lang, isa-substitute ko lang yung value ng xb na negative 0.51371. So, yung value ko ngayon ng function, negative 0.51371, magiging equal siya to cosine of negative 0.51371 plus 2 of sine negative 0.51371 plus negative 0.51371 squared. If you input this in your calculator, ang function ngayon ng negative 0.51371 ay equal to 0.152002794. Okay? So, kukupihin ko lang siya dito. Ang magiging function ngayon ng aking xb ay 0.152000279. Ay, hindi pa ako pwedeng tumigil kasi hindi pa siya nag-zero out. Hindi pa nag-zero out yung xe at saka xb. Gaya ng ginawa ko dun sa may iteration 1, pagpunta ko ngayon dito sa may iteration 2. Punta ako ngayon sa iteration 2. Ang gagawin ko lang ngayon, ibababa ko lang si xb dito, ipupunta ko siya kay xa. Same with this one. Yung function ng xb, ibababa ko siya dito sa may function xa. So, ngayon yung xa ng iteration 2 ay magiging negative 0.51371. Ang function ngayon ng aking xa ay 0.152002794. Ayan. So, ang i-compute ko na lang ngayon ay yung xb ng iteration 2 at saka yung fxb ng iteration 2. Paano ulit kunin yung xb ng iteration 2? I'm going to use the equation x1 is equal to xa minus fxa minus xb over f of xa minus f of xb. Sasubstitute ko lang. Ano yung gagamitin kong xa? Itong values na sinulat ko in red ink sa may iteration 2, galing siya sa may iteration 1. So, para makuha ko yung xb ng iteration 2, gagamitin ko yung values dun sa may iteration 1. So, again, to solve for the value of our x2, that is equal to my xa, negative 0.1, multiplied by the function of minus the function of xa, that is 0.805337,332, multiply it by xa, again my xa is negative 0.1, negative 0.1 minus my xb, that is negative 0.51371 over my fxa is 0.805337,332 minus my fxb 0.1520027. Okay, if you try to input this in your calculator, may lalabas po na value for the value of your xb. Ang lumabas po sa aking calculator ay negative 0.60996. Okay? Let me just erase this one. So, nakuha ko na yung xb para sa iteration 2. Now, I can now solve for the value of my function xb. Again, substitute this negative 0.60996 sa may fx na to. Ang lalabas ay 0.04605136. Mga haba naman po, hindi po ba pwedeng hanggang 4 decimal points lang? Okay lang naman, but for discussion purposes, pwede nyong i-cut yung parang hindi masyadong mahaba, 1, 2, 3. Okay lang na hanggang 5 decimal points. But for my discussion, i-continue ko siya. So, I'll go for iteration 3. Kung ano yung ginawa ko sa may iteration 2, ganun din yung gagawin ko sa may iteration 3. Again, ibababa ko lang ito dito. The same with this one, ibababa ko lang siya. So, that is negative 0.60996 and this is 0.04605136. So, kung paano ko sinolve yung xb sa may iteration 2, ganun din yung gawin ko dito sa may xb ng iteration 3 at ang lumabas sa aking calculator ay negative 0.6518. For my function of xb for iteration 3, that is equal to 0.006602258. For my iteration 4, that is, ibababa ko lang ulit yung pwede kong ibaba. This one. And this one. So this is negative 0.6518. And this is 0.006602258. Hindi pa ako pwedeng tumigil, as I've said a while ago. Kailangan almost 0 si XA at saka si XB. So this is negative 0.6588, and this is 0.00004. So for iteration 5, again, ibababa ko lang yung mga pwede kong ibaba. This is negative 0, 6, 8, 6, and my XP now is hindi pa ako pwedeng stop. For my iteration 6, this is negative 0.6526, and this is 0.5. This is equal to negative 0.65927. This is equal to, I'm going to use exponential form, 2.72344 times 10 raised to negative 9. Okay? So for my iteration 7, baka sabihin nyo, ma'am, almost 0 na naman na po yung dito sa my iteration 6. Kasi kung papansinin ninyo dito, this is almost 0. Pati ito, it is almost 0. Kasi kapag isusulat ko to, that is 0.000087234. 0.000027234. So almost 0 na yung dalawa. If I'm going to continue in my iteration 7, this is negative 0.65927, and this is 2.72344 times 10 raised to negative 9. If you try to solve for the value of XB, you will, ang lalabas sa inyong calculator, this is 0.65927. So kung mapapansin ninyo, if you try to go with iteration 7, pareho yung lumalabas na value ng XB. So with that, and yung ating FXA at saka FXB ay almost 0 na rin, magkakaroon tayo ngayon ng conclusion na ang ating x root for this function cosine of x plus 2 sine x plus x squared, ang ating x root ay magiging negative 0.6592 cent. This is now our answer for this function using the secant method. Okay? Try to use uh, these four methods as I have discussed in answering your activity in Module 6. Nasa last page po siya sa may activity ng inyong Module 6. Let me find that one. Okay, this one. For this not it work. This will be your activity. Again, you have to follow the format. In interval halving is bisection method. NR is the Newton-Raphson. Newton-Raphson. Again, given yung ating XO 0.5, kaya hindi na kayo wag na kayong magpakahirap. The same with your bisection method. Meron na tayong value, initial values for our x, 1, and 2. For the secant method, meron na po tayong x1 at saka x2. Baka sabihin nyo, ano yung x1, ano yung x2? x1 here is your ano itong x1 tsaka x2. Now, if you try to go here in your notes sa may secant method, balikan natin yung ating notes sa may secant method. Okay, this one. Second. Kung papansinin ninyo yung graph, ang x1 natin ay ito, sa baba. Ang ating x2 ay nasa taas. So, with this diagram, we can say that your x1 is your lower limit and your x2 is your upper limit. Now, if you try to go back dun sa may, sabi ko kasi, ang ginamit ko dito is A and B. Okay? Now, if you try to go back here, dun sa inyong notes, ito yung x1, ito yung x2. Ma'am, nakakahilo, hindi ko alam kung paano ko siya isa-substitute doon sa may equation na to. Ang ginamit ko dito is A and B. Ang ginamit doon sa inyong notes ay 1, x1 and x2. Given with this one, mahihilo pa ba kayo sa inyong equation? Already given you this diagram. So, try to look at it carefully. Okay, going back to your activity, you have to use the interval halving or your bisection method, the Newton-Raphson method, the secant method. False position method is the regular falsi. Okay? Then, perform these 4 iterations to find the first positive root. Now, compare your results. Give your observations. Kapag ginamit mo yung 4 na methods na to in solving this function, in determining the root, compare your answers and give your observations. When we say give your observations, obviously, naka-essay dito. Okay? Then, for item number 2, perform the 4 iterations to find the first positive root. Okay, sorry. Kindly correct itong problem 2. Find the first positive root of ex, of e raised to x, that is equal to 3x plus sine of x. Use the secant method to determine the root of this function. Okay? Ulitin ko po dito sa may second na item. Use the secant method. Okay? Submit your output sa may due date na ipopost ko sa may Google Classroom.